Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's David and today you get to see a complete novice come to grips with a 3D printing pen. We'll do a review on it. Let's see how it turns out. So here's my new toy, 3D printing pen, courtesy of a Christmas present by number 2 daughter. She's also into arty, crafty stuff and gaming and things like that. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description and up in the top corner. So what kind is it? Now, it's branded as Ape Basics. Mighty Ape is a retailer like Amazon that we have over here in New Zealand. From what I can tell, it is either a rebadged or a copy made in the People's Republic of China of a Scrib3d printing pen. Certainly on all of the research I've done on the interwebs, it looks exactly the same, so I am assuming it's going to work in the same way. What do we have in the box? Well, there you go, there is the proof that I have never used it. One pen in and of itself. Instruction manual, pen holder for when not in use, good. And it looks like it's got some holes for you to put your filaments in. Some test filaments. Now this is PLA plastic as opposed to ABS. PLA, they do recommend that this is the best one to use, certainly for kids using 3D printing pens. PLA is a little bit less flexible, but it doesn't give off the same kind of noxious fumes as other plastics do, so yeah, that's all good. And a power cord, okay. Right, I'm going to have to go and get a power bank because it only comes with a USB plug. It's not straight into the mains. Okay. And a test pattern for a baby shark. No, I think we'll leave that. Alright, I'll go and get this powered up and let's see what it does. Right, here goes. Plug it in like that. Okay, and it is already selected to PLA. Now, apparently, I think it's this one, is the load PLA button, or the load filament button. And you hold that down, and I can see the temperature starting to increase. Apparently this takes a couple of minutes. Okay, that sounds ready. Now, it's got to be said the instruction manual is very sparse, so one of the things that I did do was Google a few YouTube videos, and there was some really good ones on the basics of using these things. So again, I'll leave links up there if any of you guys want to get into this yourself. Pop that in the hole at the back, press the load, and it's going in, and then in short order we should, okay, see some excess filament come out. Now, yeah, okay, gloggy mess. Now apparently that is normal, and I have a big desktop 3D printer that I use, so that excess filament coming out to start off with when it is just warming up is perfectly normal. Now, one thing he says is to use wax paper to print on. Now, before we go any further, you'll have probably seen promotional stuff where they instantly start, you know, printing up in the sky. No, that is a marketing gimmick. It takes them loads of attempts to get it to do that. That is not the way these things are used. You print or you write with them in 3D on a flat surface and then take the separate pieces and then join them together. So if that's what you were thinking was going to happen, no. Hopefully, this is baking paper rather than wax paper. One of the things that you do have to make sure of, from what I have seen, is to make sure that you get good adhesion. Okay, and that is not going to cut the mustard. Why don't I just try it straight on my cutting board here? Okay. Right. No, rubber cutting mat. The wife's going to kill us. Right, I need to find something better to print on. Give me a second. Right, so back with a couple of other test materials to try printing on. This is just straight A4 paper, and I've also got some reclaimed packaging that's got that sort of plasticky covering that you get on that. One thing I've noticed, this does have a sleep mode, so obviously I'd walked away to get some stuff and it's gone off temperature, so I'm just waiting for it to heat back up. Okay, that appears to be correct. Okay, well that adhered far better, but from what I understand you can have issues, yeah, with it tearing when it comes up, so that is not going to be too much use. Let's try this stuff. Yeah, and again that has pulled the plastic away with it. Let's try this stuff again. Maybe I just wasn't doing it properly. Okay, so down. Now that's not got any adhesion at all. Bother, said Pooh. What else do I have? Ah, right. Getting your 3D print to adhere to what you're printing onto is one of the big issues with 3D printing using PLA filament. You don't get that on resin printers. But there is a trick that I learned with that. This is paper painter's tape. Now the guy on video used blue stuff. This is all I've got, so this is what I'm using. Right, let's see if it sticks to that. That's far better. And that comes off far easier. Right. Okay. Now we're cooking. I'll get a better print surface and we'll carry on. Very rough and ready. But at least I should be able to start doing some prints now. On my 3D printer that uses PLA, I've actually got a glass bed and I give it a coating with a glue stick. So if I'm using this in anger, I may actually have to print onto the bed on the big one, which is a bit of a pain unless I get another sheet of glass or a mirror or something like that. However, let's see now what this can do. So you are supposed to put it in place, feed it, allow a blob to come out, that is your anchor point, and then keep a nice steady pace, only release at the very end to leave another anchor point. That's the way you're supposed to use these. Now it does have a speed control on it. Let's turn it the other way because I have no idea whether or not that's fast or slow, and try the same thing. Okay, that's far slower. Okay, alright, lowest setting, now let's put it somewhere in the middle. Alright, that's not sending out a great deal. Maybe that's supposed to, no, you see that's supposed to be slower. Well, the speed control is very finicky. I'm guessing to get consistent lines is realistically going to depend on how quickly you draw across the paper. Let's clear this off and try actually printing something and see how easy it is. I'd certainly hoped that, you know, for things like detailed work, making signs or something like that, or emblems, or, you know, sort of like the finicky bits on stonework, that I'd be able to use this and just kind of freehand it. What can we have? Let's go for, and it does recommend that you use a template, the outside first, from what he says. Now, pushing ahead is not the right way to do it. You're supposed to draw away from it. So that is why I have moved it around, and that is just way too fast. Let's have a review and try again on a lower setting. Either that or I'm making this way too small. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it now. Loads of stringy bits, right. Now I don't know whether or not you can hear that crackling, but that is an indicator that the PLA is damp. Well, we've got a rough outline there. Now I'll just bring the speed up slightly and we'll infill it. Okay, way too much infill. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of practice on getting used to. If this is supposed to be for kids, I think not. Come on, that's not even coming out now. Oh, well, it's the roughest skull I have ever seen, but it is a skull nonetheless, and a kind of 3D printed one, yeah. Now, one of the other things that he does recommend is using snips to trim off the stringy bits. I mean, I guess that's looking a little bit more, I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? Right, time to get the big guns out. I am swapping to a different PLA filament just in case the stuff that is supplied with that is rubbish. So this is a big roll that I'm going to be using for my own big 3D printer, transparent, so we'll see how that turns out. And I've borrowed the holder so that it can roll more easily. One other change is that I am taking a trick from my early days of using the big 3D printer. I'm back to baking paper, but what I have done is used a hot glue gun to give it a bit of adhesion on the surface, and we will see how that goes. So let us get this back up to temperature. Okay, now that doesn't appear to want to go through. Now, put it up to high speed. That's better. Still got some purple in there. Right. Okay. Let's see how this does. Okay, that's far better. Oh, that's far more what I was hoping for. Turn the speed down a little bit. Yeah. Right, okay, that is giving far better results than before. So, let's get myself a new piece of paper. And let's see if we can make something this time. No. This is a very finicky beast. Oh, I've just accidentally unloaded it. Oh, right. Speed down. About to the middle. No, speed's still too high. Okay, lowest setting possible. Tell you what, we'll start again because I may have put too much glue on that. Okay, lowest setting possible. Turn it up a fraction. Oh! My word. Okay, I'm declaring this buggered because you let go of the controls and they just do what they want. That is not good. I would not recommend this one. Maybe if you get the proper branded one, that would be different. But the controls on this thing are just all over the place. Sorry. Actually, I'm going to take the temperature up and see whether or not that makes a difference. See, not holding anything. That's just wasting PLA. Right. After a lot of failed experiments, which I'm probably going to scrub, there were a few mistakes that I was making. First of all, the bubbling cracking noise, when I checked back in the manual for troubleshooting, and it's very sparse on troubleshooting, that indicates that I had the temperature too high, and there is a temperature control on here, so you can take it down a little bit. I've taken it down by about 11 degrees from the standard PLA setting. It reckons a tolerance of 8 to 15 degrees, so 11 seems about right. And the other thing that I've done is, instead of gluing all of the paper because my fingers were sticking to it, I have outlined a box that's going to be my print area, and the outside is clear so that I can move it properly. Another thing that I found is that the buttons, if you hold them for too long, they stay on automatically, so you've got to release and press again to stop. So that was something that was causing me some grief. So let's try this again. Now this is on the lowest setting for speed. That's still crackling a bit, so I may still have it on too high a temperature. But it is coming out far nicer, and it is adhering. You appear to be better doing continuous lines. Oh, and it's all come off. Well, that was going to be a spider web. Let's give it another try. Go a little bit bigger. Okay, let's give it a bit of a clean up. An awful lot of that flashing stuff is excess glue from the paper. Yeah, I think I probably, either the controls on this model are not the best, or I had it on too low an extrusion setting. Ooh! Try it again on fast. Yeah, not much better. Well, getting anything that looks like a vaguely useful printout of this thing is going to be extremely difficult. I can certainly see it's rated for an 8-year-old, and okay, I may have that mental capacity, but I can certainly see any 8-year-old that gets their hands on these getting frustrated very, very quickly. Final check. This is co-flute. One of the things I have seen these used for in the videos is essentially welding plastic together. So let's see if it is of any use doing that. Pop that in place. Highest extrusion, and bit on the ends. Now, basically all it's done is melted the core flute. You know what? For a crafter, this isn't something I would recommend. Sorry. Well, not the greatest product review I've ever done, but an honest one at least. If you have found this in any way useful, please do hit the like and subscribe and get notifications and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you in the not too distant future for something hopefully a little bit more cheerful. Bye now.